Welcome to Consciously Healthy. I'm Claire.
I'm Laura. And today we are talking about something very close to my experience. Something that I work with on a regular basis, and that would be falling into the manhole.
What's that, lassie? Laura's in the manhole. We'll get help.
How many times have you had to get help?
Or how many times have you been engaged?
3.
So at least 6.
It's a really interesting subject, and I'm pleased that we're doing it.
And we laugh about it, but actually it's a very serious subject.
Oh, it's both. It's both. And I think when we get to a stage where we're able to look at our stuff and laugh about it, I feel that there's healing there. Yeah, I feel that there is growth. Because I never even used to notice that there was a manhole.
And if you have watched our previous podcast on the difference between being a cat flirter and a dog flirter, you'll know that from our revelations, our revealing about ourselves there, Laura is a dog flirter, I am a cat flirter. So whereas I'm a bit more... so falling down the manhole's not my thing. It's actually acknowledging that there's a man there knocking on my door is actually a bit of an effort for me. So it is really interesting, I think, from the perspective of you learning how to not fall in, or when you're in, how to get out again. And for me, actually seeing that this is a reality for some people and learning how to support you.
Yeah. So what do you see when the manhole is in sight?
So I'd just like to clarify as well that it's not just Laura, that this is actually, the reason we're doing a podcast on it is because this is something that women talk about as being something that they experience on when they get into relationship.
But they tend not to call it the manhole. I think this is something unique that we have named it.
We do have a whole dictionary, don't we? We had a friend, a yoga friend, who went, just being around you two, I need a dictionary because we make up so many words.
Yes.
Like those weird twins who speak in funny languages that the parents don't understand. So for my experience of watching you, I remember an experience where we were in a cafe and you were with someone that you were seeing, and it was like the incredible, phenomenal woman that I know who is funny and intelligent and engaging and all of the stuff that you are was completely absent. It's like there was a Laura shaped and looking shell, but you were just absent.
I think this has been a really interesting one for me because it's not just men that I do this with. When true. I am in an uncomfortable situation, or I don't feel that it's safe to be my crazy bonkers self, is that I can go quite vacant. And it's only after that I've been in it and I look back at it that I'm able to go, okay, right, what is going on there for me? And so the manhole thing has been a really interesting journey for me, and I'm not always aware of it. I'm not always aware that, like, when I'm with a man, that I put all of my energy into him and all of my needs. It's like, we all have been brought up as the Disney princess generation, and from a very young age, it always seemed to me that I was half waiting for another half to make a whole, and that a relationship on some level would define me. And so when I started getting into relationship, I was looking for that man who was going to give me all of the bits that I was potentially missing. And it's taken many years of really looking at this and going, okay, I'm whole as an individual as I am, and I'm really playing with coming into dynamics with all men and also people that I feel uncomfortable with, and being able to stay in myself. I think that is the biggest journey that I'm learning with this, is every time that I feel that I'm so engaged or I'm so into someone that it's a trigger that I have to bring the energy back to myself.
And so it's been a sort of a journey for us in terms of, as your friend, knowing how to support you in that as well, because I know that it used to kind of really annoy me, and then that's just going to fuel the fire of And that's because I didn't know how to deal with it. Whereas these days I can just kind of go, oh, manhole. And you go, am I? What? Oh, yeah. Because these days it's much more subtle than it ever used to be.
I think where it gets quite detrimental for me is when I can lose myself in a person and their needs become more important than mine. And that's the sticky stuff. And it's never about the other person. It's never about the man. It's always about the relationship that I have with myself and being able to come home to myself.
Yeah.
And that has been...
Yeah. And because that
I'm
was
still doing it.
That was an experience, actually, was seeing you at a party. And again, this awesome, incredible woman who's just, brilliant at parties, suddenly... just sat next to the partner you were with at the time and just not engaging with people, because it would be if he wanted to engage, then you'd engage. If he didn't want to engage, then there would be no engagement. And it's certainly not something that you've learnt particularly. It's not been modelled to you. No,
my mum's incredibly strong woman and says it like it is and gets her needs met.
Yeah.
So it's something that I picked up, I don't know, probably from when I first started having relationships, that I found a way of being able to get the kind of attention that I was looking for if I behaved a certain way. And because it's something that I've done for decades, that unpicking it has been, it's been tough actually. It can be really tough because we often can't see our own stuff when we're so close to it. So I appreciate the mirrors when it comes. It can be really uncomfortable though.
Yeah, really. So I guess that's, in terms of tips to know if you do this, what would you say?
Befriend you.
Oh, I see, befriend me, so that I can go, what's up, Lassie? In a really subtle way, yeah.
It does help if you've got friends around you who are really honest and go, I just want to say that you're really different when you're around him. Yeah. That's usually a trigger. So either you're resonating with what we're saying, or you've got friends who go, you are so different when you're around a man. And I mean, the tools that I use is that, I mean, we talk about this all the time. It's like bringing awareness to it is the first step. I mean, I come from a place of being really comfortable in denial. So having to bring awareness to something really ick is a big step for me. And then I usually, there's something I've been learning recently. It's a really beautiful phrase that I took from the Gabby Bernstein book, which is on some level what is happening is that I am putting this person onto some kind of pedestal, or making them better than me, or having their needs as more important than mine. And I've been practicing it as a bit like a mantra, is the light in me is equal to the light in you. We are all equal, and putting someone on the pedestal is not going to serve me and it's not going to serve them. So really I've started to play with that and bringing awareness to it and being really gentle with myself, because I can get really cross with myself when I repeat a pattern. But in the wise words of Lenny Kravitz, we are meant to repeat the mistakes or the experiences until we have the tools that we need to be able to learn so that we can move on. And there is still something in this dynamic that I need to learn. And so, I fall into it, I come out of it, I fall back into it, I come out of it, and that can be frustrating. But if I bring kindness to myself, then I get the learning, and I know
it can shift easier. Because then you're not in conflict with yourself as well as dealing with this issue.
Yeah.
And I guess my tip would be actually find a friend or a sibling, or someone that you can really trust, or a therapist, someone you can really trust, who is able to be honest with you and
to ask the right questions.
Yes. Yeah, to actually say to them, okay, this is something that I think I do. What's your experience of it? And to find a way that you would find it supportive for them to question you. So it's like, we've had to work with this. So if I just went, down the manhole again, it's just so annoying, like that's not going to be in any way supportive, because that's just adding, berating to the fire that's already fueled. But actually finding a way that you want it communicated to you that maybe there has been a shift in your behaviour. Maybe you're just not quite being fully aligned with yourself.
Yeah, and I mean that, to have those friendships and those dynamics, and maybe a therapist in your life who's able to sort of just mirror that back to you, that when you're not being authentic in yourself, can be such a gift. It can be sticky, Because I mean, I've experienced that when someone's gone, okay, that doesn't sound like you're being authentic, then I can get quite defensive with it. But I'm just trying to protect myself, and so the more that we shed light on it, I think that's another thing. Actually, naming it.
Yeah.
It's not just the awareness, but actually saying the words and going, there's a manhole here.
Yeah. Throw a rope.
Help. So yeah.
So that's the manhole.
That's the manhole.
Hopefully we've helped you stay out of one.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's also a woman hole if you're a man listening, but I'm not in the slightest bit qualified to talk about that.
And we do a podcast on women's holes.
I couldn't resist it. It was an easy joke. Anyway, moving on. If you like our ramblings, we will be back, and subscribe. See you next time.
Bye.